McLeod with the Investing News Network, and here today with me is Mercenary Geologist Mickey Fulp. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks a lot once again.
Yes.
Here we are again.
Yes. So you are keen on uranium these days, and I wanted to start by asking you if you think the uranium market has hit a bottom.
Well, I think it actually hit a bottom last summer when the price went to $28. We've seen a very significant rise in prices now at floating around $35 to $37, and that doesn't really get anybody excited, but that's probably what, a 30% jump from last summer. Yeah. We saw the jump in prices, and equities for the most part haven't followed suit.
Okay. So we're looking at a bottom, and there's a couple of factors that look likely to drive the uranium price up moving forward. One key one is reactor restarts in Japan. Can you tell me what's going on with that situation and when investors can expect demand from Japan to really pick up?
Well, there's some news out in the last couple of days about the two Sendai reactors, which are online to start first, and it appears that they could start up within a month.
Right.
Now that could be delayed to some degree, but it's imminent, let's put it that way. So certainly I would expect startups in, say, by the end of this quarter, if not sooner.
Okay, and that's for the two reactors or anything beyond that?
Well, I think now, if memory serves, there's 6 that have got the go-ahead to progress. When those other 4 will be scheduled, it's somewhat unclear right now. Right. You know, there's 50 that were operating or still operable post-Fukushima. I dare say that in the best of times we might see about half of those ever go into production again.
Okay. So Japan's a big one, but are there any other countries you're looking at that could see a significant rise in uranium demand in the future? Well,
certainly China, India, Russians remain committed worldwide. The Middle East, Saudis, the UAE have plans. Argentina is progressing very rapidly. Turkey is progressing rapidly into the nuclear age. So there's a number of countries. Korea, the Koreans still remain very dedicated to not only nuclear energy in country, but exporting their technology outside the country. So all in all, it looks fairly bullish.
Yeah, no shortage of countries, I guess.
Yeah, I think right now there's something on the order of 61 reactors under construction, and about 1 per month going into criticality and startup. So that's a pretty bullish scenario.
Okay. Can you explain how utilities fit into the demand picture? I understand that at current prices, a lot of them are holding back on buying, but can you shed a little more light?
Well, certainly with the downturn in prices, you know, the utilities, they always want 1.5 to 3 years out of supplies, and especially U.S. utilities are on the bottom end of that range right now. So we would expect some buying to stimulate the market in the relatively short term. So at some point they're going to come back in the market. They haven't really done that yet.
Okay. And short and long term, what are your uranium price predictions?
Well, I'm bullish on uranium. It's really difficult to forecast prices. You know, we went up briefly, went above $40 this year, and then here comes the DOE and the Obama administration, and they're continuing mixed signals about the uranium market. You know, price went to almost $40, touched 40, was hanging in around 39, and then the DOE comes and drops about 3 million pounds equivalent in uranium hexafluoride, but 3 million pounds equivalent of U3O8, and immediately cratered the price again. So you never know. Recently, the Obama administration this week threw a carrot out to the uranium industry once again, but it's a little bitty carrot, so they keep throwing little things out and pulling them back, so you continue to get mixed signals, and that certainly affects the price.
Of course. Now, in closing, can you tell me a little about your favorite uranium companies and what catalysts are coming up for them?
Well, I cover currently, and this reflects my bullishness in the mid to long term of uranium. I cover 3 uranium companies. I cover Energy Fuels. I am a long-term committed shareholder of that company. They recently merged with Reactor, so now they are not only a conventional supplier of uranium in the U.S., but ISR production, and they've really started to turn around the Nichols Ranch well field in Wyoming, which they acquired from Uranium. So that's one company. The next one, my newest company, is a soon-to-be producer, and that's you would call them a uranium developer right now. That's Uranium Resources Inc. They're listed on the NASDAQ, and they recently announced, well, about close to 2 months ago now, acquisition of Anatolia Energy, which will give them a very short-term path to production in central Turkey with a robustly economic ISR project there. And then finally, I cover, we've got to get in the Athabasca, so I cover a prospect generator in the Athabasca, Canalaska Uranium.
Okay. They've
got 15 projects, they've got 5 ventured out, and they've got some really interesting stuff, all the way from giant, deep Cigar Lake, MacArthur River type targets that they've drilled alteration and you would think very close to drilling uranium on. And then they've got some grassroots stuff, and interestingly enough, they've got a JV in just outside the basin in northwest Manitoba with a company called Northern Uranium, led by Chuck Fipke, the infamous diamond finder, and Chuck is now off on uranium. So any day we expect drill news, and I think they're very close to discovery in the Athabasca Basin.
Oh, great. So it sounds like you're looking at companies all across the spectrum.
I am, but recognize that my sweet spot in uranium is very much domestic. U.S. Producers and developers are based in the U.S. Energy Fuels has a New York market listing, so and then the Athabasca Basin. So I refuse to take a lot of geopolitical risk in the uranium space.
Well, that's fair. All right, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. Always my pleasure.
Of course. And I'm Charlotte McLeod with the Investing News Network.